The next big growth spots in Kansas City aren't the towns way out on the edge of the metro. They're the ones sitting a whole lot closer than you'd think. Today, we're gonna stay inside about a 45-minute drive from downtown Kansas City, and we're gonna walk through 4 towns that we think are best positioned for some serious growth over the next 5 to 10 years.
We'll give you the real numbers, why we think each one is about to take off, and the honest downsides too, because none of these towns are perfect, and we're not gonna try and pretend that they are.
My name is Mike Mars. This is my twin brother, Mason. We've been helping people buy, sell, and relocate here in Kansas City for the last 9 years, and a big part of our job is watching where the growth is headed before everyone else catches on.
If that's the kind of straight up local intel that you're looking for, our contact info is right down in the description, and we'd love to help you find the right spot when you're ready to make a move. All right, let's get into it.
First up, and honestly, this might be the most overlooked spot on the entire list, Riverside, Missouri. Riverside sits right along the Missouri River, tucked between downtown Kansas City and the Northland. You can genuinely be in the river market in about 10 minutes.
It's a small town, only around 4,700 people, but it's grown by about 17% just since the last census, and there's a real reason for that.
There's a huge redevelopment project happening out here called Horizons. It sits right along I-635 on a stretch of land that used to be just undeveloped river bottom, and now it's turning into one of the more exciting entertainment corridors in the metro.
The KC Current, our professional women's soccer team, already built their training facilities out there, and right across the street from it, there's a brand new amphitheater that just opened up a couple months ago.
The city has flat out said this is some of the highest growth potential land left in the entire metro, and when you're this close to downtown with this much room to build, it's easy to see why.
Home prices in Riverside are still really approachable for how close you are to everything, and that's a big part of the appeal. Now, here's the honest downside. Riverside is still a bit small, so a lot of the day-to-day shopping and dining that you may be used to is just a quick drive into the Northland or across the river into downtown rather in Riverside itself.
And because a big chunk of this growth is still under construction, you're buying into what this area is becoming, not necessarily what it already is today.
Next, let's head over to the Kansas side out to Bonner Springs. Bonner Springs sits just west of Kansas City, Kansas, and it's basically right next door to the Village West Corridor, which if you don't know is the area around the Legends, Kansas Speedway, and Children's Mercy Park Soccer Stadium.
And that whole area out there is about to get a lot bigger. There's a $300 million Mattel theme park in the works. Buc-ee's has already landed, so that's coming in 2027. And there's a $165 million American Royal Complex being built out that direction too. That's an enormous amount of investment all in one area.
Bonner Springs sits right next to all of it. And here's the part that really stands out. The median home price out there is still only about $300,000. And that's a really rare number to find next to that kind of development.
The honest downside is Bonner Springs still feels a little bit more rural and a little bit more industrial in spots. It's not polished yet. And because a lot of this growth is still in the pipeline rather than finished, this is more of an early bet than a sure thing. But if you're comfortable getting in before the area fully arrives, this is exactly the kind of spot we'd be watching.
Now let's swing up to the north side to Platte City, Missouri. Platte City just sits a few minutes from the Kansas City International Airport, and this area has quietly become one of the stronger markets in the entire metro.
Median home prices in Platte County have jumped about 14% over the last year alone, which is a pretty significant one-year move for this market.
A big part of what's driving that is simple. You've got the airport right there as a major employer, St. Luke's Northland Hospital close by, and the Platte County School District, which consistently ranks in the top tier of districts on the Missouri side.
Platte City itself still has some of that small town charm to it, but there's still steady new construction going in to keep families moving in that direction. And being this close to the airport definitely helps and makes it really convenient as KCI keeps growing.
The downside here is this market has already started to heat up, so you're not getting in quite as early as some of the other spots on this list, and home prices reflect that.
And a lot like these smaller towns, once you get outside the main strip near the highway, some of it is still pretty rural, so it's not for everybody. If you want to keep everything within a 5-minute drive, this may not be for you.
All right, let's pause for a second because we want to hear from you. Of these first 3, Riverside, Bonner Springs, or Platte City, which one would you actually consider? Drop it in the comments below.
And the last one on our list, heading south this time, is Belton, Missouri.
Belton sits in northern Cass County right along Highway 49, which connects you straight up into South Kansas City. And it's actually one of the bigger towns on this list already with close to 27,000 people.
It's grown by a little over 11% since the last census, and it's close enough to downtown that a lot of our clients are actually surprised at how quick the drive actually is.
What we like about Belton for the next 5 to 10 years is that it's sitting right in the path of growth, pushing south of the city along that 49 corridor. The same pattern we've seen play out in other suburbs a little further north over the years.
Home prices are still very approachable here, with a lot of listings landing in the 300s, so you're getting real value for a town this close to the city with this much room left to grow.
The honest downside is the Belton school ratings are a mixed bag depending on which part of the city you're looking at. So if the schools are a top priority for your family, that's worth digging into address by address rather than assuming the whole city is the same.
And while it's growing, it's a slower and steadier kind of growth rather than an explosive one. So don't expect overnight change here.
So let's bring this home. 4 cities, all within about a 45-minute drive of downtown Kansas City. You've got Riverside with the Horizons redevelopment right along the river, Bonner Springs sitting next door to some of the biggest investment happening anywhere in the metro over on the Kansas side.
Platte City is benefiting from the airport and some really strong school ratings on the Missouri side, and Belton is steady, affordable, sitting right in the path of growth heading south.
The thread tying all 4 of these together is simple. You don't have to move an hour outside of the city to find room to grow. Some of the best opportunities are still sitting a lot closer than a lot of people realize.
So what do you think? Which one of these 4 would you actually consider? Let us know in the comments below. And of course, if you're thinking about a move to Kansas City, or you just want an honest opinion about one of these towns and how it might fit your budget or your family, we would love to help.
Shoot us an email or click the link in the description to book a quick call with us. Don't forget to subscribe because we put out videos like this every single week.